So I finally have a release date for the special and the deluxe edition of Starlit Omen, which are these two books right here. There are some massive differences within the two, and they will be released on the same day. So we're going to go over the special edition first. This is the cover in comparison to the standard edition, which the standard edition is lovely in itself. Very beautiful. I will always love this cover. I just like to have variations. So it's not just the cover that makes the special edition different and separate from the standard edition. There's also character art, a bonus scene, different chapter headers, as well as scene breaks in the special edition. Here is an example of the chapter header, and here is an example of the art throughout. So pretty much all of the art that I had commissioned for this story is in this book, and I placed each art piece in front of the chapter in which they correlated with, because a lot of the character art that I commission, I usually base it around one of the scenes or the chapters. And here's an example of the little scene break. This one's going to be kind of harder to see because she's so little, but that is a little crow. Now I drew that little crow. I also drew the chapter headers, but that's about the extent that my artistry can go. I can do cute little doodles, but when it comes to character art, that is what I leave for the professionals. Now the bonus scene in this book is from Kazan's point of view. He is one of the main male characters of the story, whereas the rest of the story is from the main female character's point of view, Anathema. So now moving on to the difference between the special edition and the deluxe edition. So the deluxe edition has a foiled title, sprayed edges. I also drew those little clouds, stars, and wind swirls. Again, I can only doodle things. The other difference is the backs. So this has the full book blurb, whereas this one is just a quote from the book, and the quote reads from Asher, which is the main love interest of the story. "Your heart sounds like a frightened little bird that has been entangled by a snake." Here are the differences from the special edition versus the deluxe edition within the book. To start out with, this one has a map. Now I designed this map during a very high anxiety spell that lasted for like 4 days, and I went above and beyond on this map because I was trying to keep myself very distracted. When you open up to the very back of the book, it has a bunch of little Grim Reapers that are holding a tiny scroll. This does correlate with the story. There is someone who is trying to constantly get Anathema to sign a contract. And I also drew these little Grim Reapers. I also drew this. It's a little tarot card. And this image right here is actually what the chapter headers are. So let me show you that, because that is another difference between the special edition and the deluxe edition as far as coloration goes. Both books have the same chapter headers. The difference is this one has colored chapter headers. I did it in the faint pinks and whatnot. And all of the character art that is in this edition is also in color. And because I did not do the book blurb on the back of the deluxe, I decided to put that on the inside. And again, I drew those little crows on their clouds. And the deluxe edition also has the bonus scene from Kazan's point of view as well. So now moving on to the release date of both of these books, it will be July 29th. And the reason that I chose this date is because not only is it the buck moon, but it is also the birthday of someone that is very important to me. And that is what I mean by I need the stars to align a very specific way. I have a strong belief that dates carry a lot of importance and significance and can play a huge role in how something turns out. But in order for that to work out, I also needed to make sure that I had physical copies in my hands to be able to send out to people. And on one last note, the special edition will also have a paperback option. However, the deluxe edition will only be in hardback. There will also be the option of doing a book box, when I've been working on some really cool things to make this box very special. So everything is near ready to go. I am just waiting on this very specific date for the grand release.